Welcome to Gem, and I am your host Ethan, and this is Roster United episode 14. I can't believe it. Today we're gonna go in depth with the Wakanda Forever expansion. Yes, it's gonna be really cool. And since this expansion has 3 characters instead of 4, I usually like to split it up into 2 for each episode. But you know what? Today we're going to go through all 3 characters in roster, and in this expansion in Roster United podcast. This expansion contains characters like Black Panther, Shuri, and Winter Soldier, and also has the villain called Killmonger, and he is really cool. But you have to wait to listen to him because I'm still going through the in-depth with the villains. Ultron is about to come out really, really soon in the website, and probably a day or 2 later, I will do a podcast. It depends what's going on around those days. But yes, stay tuned. Ultron's coming out in the podcast. You can see his stats, see everything about him, the way he plays, the way you want to choose your characters. What's your mindset when you play against that villain? But anyway, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let's go with the one, the only Black Panther. So we see here his number of symbols. He's got 7 moves, 4 hits, 4 heroics, and 3 wilds. Not bad. Not bad at all, really. His abilities, he's got Panther Habit. Now he has 3 of these. Now, some of them are different, some of them aren't. So he's got plus. So it's basically a card that has these 2 symbols. So it says, your symbol that you already have in the card, plus a heroic and a hit. Then the other one is move and a heroic. So they're kind of just extra actions in that card that you can use. So heroic and hit, and then move and heroic. So we see here clearly that Black Panther is a move character. We see this because he has 7 moves. But not just that. He also has a few more thanks to his ability with Panther Habit, which gives him extra symbols to use in his turn, which is really, really nice. So he can move more, and he can hit more, or he can hit and heroic, things like that. So his ability doesn't just give Black Panther more moves or more actions to do in the game, but he also gives him a good all-around character or a good all-around status for Black Panther, thanks to his abilities. I truly think, though, that Black Panther is the all-around king in this game right now. And I know I said that Wasp was a great all-around character, but comparing to Black Panther, Wasp can't really do as much moves as Black Panther can. Wasp has 5 hits, but Black Panther does have 4. But plus his abilities, he gets it up to like 6 hits. And Wasp does not have that much heroics as Black Panther, but she does have 4 wilds, which is really nice. But personally, for me, I think Black Panther right now is a good all-around character because all of his stats are above 5, which is phenomenal, which is great. And I have played against Black Panther, and I've had a really good experience. I think I've only played with him maybe 3 times, 4 times, which is a lot. I mean, out of 80-something characters. No, but I played against Black Panther, or I played with Black Panther lots of times, and I've won every time because of his Panther habit, where I can just use those abilities. I think that is great. He's not just that. He's not just good. His team playing is nice. It's not really, really good like that 7-2 symbol cards that Thor and Better Ray Bill had, but he has 6 out of 12 cards are two symbol cards. That's a great team player. Actually, that's average. So that is good because not a lot of people, not a lot of characters or people or whatever you like to call them, have that much two symbol cards. And for me, I think 6 out of 12 two symbol cards is great. And the overall that I gave Black Panther was 4.5 out of 5. Now, before we go into next, this is called in-depth for a reason. I might have not done this a lot, but I'm gonna change that. So we're gonna so we didn't so we now we know that Black Panther is an all-around character, but has lots of number has lots of symbols. So let's truly think about this. So Black Panther can move around, can hit, and can do lots of heroics. So that means basically, if you go up with any villain, even if he does lots of heroics or lots of hits or whatever it is, Black Panther's going to succeed because, and we can think about this because when we see that he's an all around character. And, usually you think, oh, all around character, his stats are going to be decent. Because, when it's an all around character, all stats are either the same or close to being the same. And in the case for Black Panther, yes, his stats are kind of in the same, room, but they're very expanded, meaning that it's not like it's not like 3 heroics, 4 hits, and 5 moves. No, it's 7 moves. It's 6 hits. It's 6 heroics and 3 wilds. That is great. You can use all of those. He can move around like crazy, and he can use those stats. So you can basically use Black Panther everywhere. You can basically use him with any against any villain, with any teammate, because he's going to be good and he's going to succeed. And believe it or not, Black Panther is the highest character I have rated in the website right now, and probably one of my favorite characters to play as him, because of his ability and just how much stats he has. That is great. Now, again, his abilities isn't so much on the team player side, but it truly helps him out in many ways. So if he has to deal an extra hit, or he has to move, he can do that with his ability, and I think that is great. Again, he can move, he can play against any villain, and he'll probably succeed just because of his number of symbols plus his ability and his good two symbol cards is great. He's just phenomenal. So yeah, I personally think Black Panther is good, but is the other characters in his expansion better or worse or the same? Well, let's figure that out. Next, we're gonna go to Shuri. Excuse me, water break. Yeah, all right. So Shuri here, she has 2 moves, 2 hits, 6 heroics, and believe it or not, 6 wilds. Yes, 6 wilds. Abilities. She has Young Genius. Now, she has 3 cards with this. It says here, give 1 wild token from the pool to any hero. They may draw cards until they have 3 in their hand. That is awesome. Shuri is one of a kind. And for the first time ever, for the first time ever in all podcast history, and I think probably even Marvel United history, we have our first ever wild kind of character. Shuri is 100% a heroic wild character. Now wilds is really well. Really well. You can use those for anything. But just for I gotta have to be a little picky with a few characters if you really want to go in depth with them. So just a few things. Shuri, she can't really hit. She only has 2 hits. She can only move twice. She does have lots of heroics though, so she can save lots of people. She can clear threats easily, but she also has 6 wilds, and that is really, really good. And not just that, her ability is great. Her ability is phenomenal. Look at this. Give one wild token from the pool to any hero. So you can give a wild token to anybody in your choosing. And then they may draw cards until they have three in their hand. So if one of your teammates has one card left in their hand, not in their deck, in their hand, and they could get KO'd, you can give them with this power one wild token, and then they can draw two more cards to have a total of three in their hand. That is great. That is great team playing because some locations, when you clear the threats, locations have these special powers at the end of your turn. For example, there's one that I like. I think it's called Avengers HQ or Avengers Mansion. That's what it's called, Avengers Mansion. And that basically says that if you clear the threat at the end of your turn, it says there, if you end your turn at that location, you can draw up to three cards in your hand. Now, I don't know a lot of other locations that have that, or if it's, or if that's like one of a kind. But yeah, and some games you won't play with that location, so having a person like Shuri where you can basically recharge or people or yeah, recharge basically other characters, you can do that with Shuri, which is phenomenal. I think that power is great. I think her symbols are, I mean, just looking at her symbols is like nasty, but you look at those six miles and you're like, dang, I could do lots of stuff with them. And I think you can. Um, but she does not have lots of two symbol cards. She only has four. And that is a very bad team player. But her ability adds some, takes some weight away from that. Or, meaning that basically her ability kind of pushes that rating of her two symbol cards or of her team playing a little higher. But yeah, I personally think Shori is really good. I gave her a 3 out of 5. I think she's great. She's got lots of good symbols here. She's got lots of good abilities too, and I just think she's great. But again, moves, hits could work on. Wilds, excellent. Heroics, excellent. Just really solid. Now, let's go to Winter Soldier. Now, before I keep forgetting to do this, before we go on to that, is Shuri good or worse than Black Panther? Well, in some ways, I personally think her ability might be a little better than, well, it just depends. Mm, Well, I guess Shuri's power is a little better. Just a little, just a tad, like not even a percent better, or not even a point better. Because Black Panther's power gives him more stuff to do. Plus the card before him and the card he played. So you can do like 6, 7 stuff with Black Panther, and that is phenomenal. Um but with Shuri, you can help people. Be a good team player with them. You can literally you can basically recharge or revive your KO, or no, excuse me, revive two hearts basically, or two cards from for any character, and that's great. And not just that, also giving them a wild token, which is cool. Uh, it almost reminds me of like a better Captain America with that card. Interesting, interesting. So Shuri here, it's hard because Black Panther has lots of good two symbol cards. He's all around. Ability is great. Shuri here, not all around with just her stats, but her ability is great. She's got lots of wilds. I'm gonna have to face it though. I think Black Panther is just better than Shuri, but Shuri's way is like super close. So with that in mind, let's go to Winter Soldier here. Winter Soldier is the third and last character in that expansion. Let's see what he does. Oh boy. He's got 3 moves, 8 hits, 1 heroic, and 3 wilds. He also has this ability called Expert Assassin, which has gained 2 hit tokens. So we see here clearly that Winter Soldier is a hitter. He kind of reminds me of Hulk in a way, where he's just hitter. He kind of reminds me of Drax. I know we haven't gone through Drax yet. I don't want to spoil it to you, but Drax has 8 hits, but he can't do anything else. He also kind of reminds me of Ant-Man too, where he can do lots of heroics, but that's it. Um, so yeah, his ability does add 6 more hits. So that basically means 8 plus 6. Wait, don't tell me the answer is 14. Yes, I think it's 14. Maybe. Anyway, but Winter Soldier technically has 14 hits total with his ability. But he is not a good team player. He only has 4 2 symbol cards. And his ability, unlike Shuri, is for his own benefit. And not just that, Winter Soldier can't do any heroics. One heroic, that is the worst possible heroics a character can have. Can you believe that? One heroic? What is that? And he can't move either. So it kind of reminds me of Drax. We'll talk about Drax in a few podcasts, probably in I can't even guess because we're still gonna go in depth and stuff like that. But we still got lots of more podcasts to do. But probably in a few months we'll probably talk about Drax, or in a few weeks or whatever, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'll refer back. I'll remember this podcast. I'll remember this day, and I'll be like, I'm going to tell you guys why Drax is just like Winter Soldier. But I won't ruin the surprise for you yet. So yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, Winter Soldier can't do hits, can't do heroics. Ability, really cool, I think. He can gain 2 hit tokens. That's great for himself, though. He can't give them to nobody else, which is not good. 2 symbol cards, again, not good. Can't move, can't save people, not good. He is worse than Shuri. He's probably worse than Ant-Man, because or Spider-Ham too, because they both have like a lot of symbols for one class, meaning that for example, Spider-Ham, if I'm correct, I think he had lots of hits, but that was it. He couldn't move and do lots of heroics. But I think Winter Soldier is the worst of all of them because he can't save anybody. At least Spider-Ham can save 2, 3 people. Winter Soldier can only do 1. Can you believe that? And I haven't. Yes, I've played as Winter Soldier, and he was okay. He can do lots of damage, which was fine for me. I like that, but he couldn't really do, or he couldn't really set up anybody else. Meaning he couldn't really give a card out for the next player so he can use. He just wasn't good. Even we did win with him. I played with him, I think 2, 3 times too, and we won. But I don't think it was. It's not thanks to him, because it's just it's just weird. It just don't work. It doesn't work out. That character really, really needs support. So honestly, just for Winter Soldier, just to support him, you probably need 2 other team players to play good team players. You probably need people that can move and people that can save like crikeys. I think for Winter Soldier, a good team for him would kind of be like an Iron Man, where he can move and hit, and Ant-Man, where he can just do lots of heroics. That could save, that can save a lot of people. I think that is really well. I think Winter Soldier would be perfect for those, but yeah, you never know. And if you do have Marvel United and all these characters that I've talked about, please feel free to try them. So I can, so you can tell me, hey, Ethan, yeah, that's not right. And that's fine. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I want to get better at this. But anyway, Winter Soldier, not that good. Honestly, Shuri's a little better, and Black Panther's a little better. But of course, I'll save that for another episode, ranking episode. So, yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Roster United. I am your host, Ethan, and this was episode 14. Have a good day.